Hi everyone, it's Tanya and welcome to today's video. And today I'm doing the Racing to Read tag for the Reading Rush readathon which is going on currently, and I like doing tags, so I thought it would be also just a fun video to make and also just a slightly different from all the vlogs that I have been doing. Just, you know, to a little bit change it up. So let's begin with the first question. The first question is Warm Up, a book that stretches your mind. Now, I am not sure what to stretch your mind exactly mean. Like, from what I found on the internet, it means like to learn new things, to like broaden your horizons. Is it that? If it's not that, I apologize. But that's just what I found. So, and okay, so then the books that taught me new things. First of all, The Blind Owl by Sadeh Hedayat. It stretched my mind, and it is still stretching it because I still think about this book sometimes. So this is a book about this insane, obsessed person. Like, the whole book is happening in his mind, and it's like the whole book is like the pictures of his mind. It was also very confusing. Obviously, like, there is a lot of symbolism which I didn't understand. Probably that's why it is confusing to me, and so that's why I also ordered like a different edition and a different translation with like introduction by somebody. So I really want to understand what this book is about. I mean, I understand what it's about. I just want to understand it, you know. Because it also felt very confusing to me, even though like when I said that I enjoyed it, I really meant it. Like, I really enjoyed it. I guess I also enjoyed it for the reason because it was like so different and so confusing and like a riddle which I didn't solve. And I'm trying to. The first book that stretched my mind, I guess. The second one is like more down to earth and like more realistic. The book that like I'm just at peace with this book, you know. With this book I'm still not at peace with this, but with this book I am. And this is Human Acts by Han Kang. This book introduced me to this horrifying event in Korean history, but also I feel like this book is very relevant for our current times because it deals with police brutality. So it's also very relevant not only for Korean history and for people who are interested in Korea, but just for everybody, especially in the current climate. I really like this book. Another book that also taught me new things is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, but I've already talked about all of this book in my very recent videos where I talked about 3 best books I read. This book also was in that video, so if you want to watch it I will link it up here. But this book taught me a lot about culture of Nigerian tribes before white people came to them, and also about the process of colonization of Nigeria. This was really very interesting. And also one more book that also taught me a lot, Lie With Me by Philippe Besson. I love this book. I really love it a lot. It's a very short one and it's about gay relationship between boys, and it just made me feel things, you know. I cannot say that like I didn't know the struggles that gay people are facing. Of course I knew it, everybody knows it, but like because it was so far from me, I didn't like feel it, you know. But this book, it made it like closer to me, and like it kind of made me really understand and feel for them. Just also a very beautiful story in itself, very beautiful love story, also painful and hurting. Such a good book, so highly recommend it. Next question is Start Line. What's a book that you started but never finished? A lot. I have some books that I started, never finished, and not going to finish, and there are some books that I started, not finished, but really want to. So I will talk about the books that I started and want to finish in my next video, so keep your eyes out for that. As for the book that I started, never finished, and not want to finish, I actually also talked about some of them in the video 3 best and 3 worst books I read, so you can watch it there. But for example, Eragon, I started, didn't finish, not going to, just was bored. Like, it's obviously my personal opinion, but just I was bored with this book. Michelle Harrison is the author of A Pinch of Magic. I finished A Pinch of Magic, didn't really like it a lot. I gave it like 3 stars, so I'm going to just unhaul it. It wasn't my favorite. And the other book by her, which is Unrest, which is a YA horror book, I just like, I don't know, I also didn't like it. So I feel like she's just not my author. I don't like the way she writes characters. I don't like the way she writes emotions. Like, something about the way she writes how her characters feel just really puts me off, like particularly that part. I don't know why, but I just really don't like it. Unrest. I started, never finished, not going to. Serafina. Started, never finished, not going to. Children of Blood and Bone. Started, never finished, not going to. Next one is Sprint. A book you read really quickly. Okay, for this I think I will go with my recent read, which is Roberto Bolaño, The Insufferable Gaucho. So this book is, well, it's actually more. But I read 120 pages in a day, which is, for me, that's a lot. Like, usually I think if I'm not trying, if I'm not pushing myself, I would read like maybe 50 pages a day, maybe 70, I don't know, but like 120, that's like a lot for me to read in one day. And actually it wasn't the full book, because there is still like a little bit left, which is like his essays, and I didn't read his essays. But still, so I read all the short stories, all the short stories from this collection in one day. For me, that's pretty quick. Roberto Bolaño, Insufferable Gaucho, very readable, very easy to read, and like enjoyable, really enjoyable. Highly recommended. And also I feel like it's a good place to start with this author. Marathon. What's your favorite long book? Again, for my favorite long book, I think I should say like my not so recent, but like also I read it this year, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. So this book is like 1000 pages. I read it, I think, in 7 days, 7 or 8 days. It was so interesting. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. All the characters, all the story, all the magic, relationship between the characters which were like so dynamic and realistic, and I feel like they were so good, so well written. I know I really enjoyed this book, and I'm so excited about her second book coming out, which is Piranesi or Piranesi, I'm not sure how to pronounce. Highly recommended, don't be afraid. It's actually very funny. There is so much humor in this book. I laughed a lot throughout this book. It's just brilliant. It's so good. It's just, oh, I loved it. Hurdles. What's a book that had ups and downs? I think for this question I will go with Little Women, because it had like a very big up for me in the beginning, in like the first half of the book. I really loved it, like the first half. And then in the second half, which is Good Wives, there was like a huge plunge, a huge down, and it just stayed buried for me. The first down came with her description of Russian people, which were ugly Russians. So when she said that, when I saw those words in that book, I was just like I was so angry. I was so angry, I just threw it away. I was like, no! Furious. And after that, I mean, I still finished that book, but yeah, it was just like bad for me. After that, all I saw in that book were just bad things, you know? And also like, I don't know, Jo, her relationship, and like everything. I don't know. Now I don't even think that I would enjoy the first part. Like if I reread it, I think I really would not enjoy the first part, because later when I thought about it, it was also kind of annoying that like in the end of every chapter there was like a moral lesson. And also their mom, now when I think back about their mom, she was also kind of an annoying lady, you know? And also like not very, just like annoyingly good, you know? This like annoyingly good type of characters who are like, you should go to poor people, you should visit them every day and bring them food, you know? When she left for her husband when he was at war, and yeah, it didn't just occur to her that like one of her daughters might get sick from those poor people and she would not be at home to take care of them, but they should go to the poor people and take care of them every day. It really annoyed me. Little Women, no. It's just stayed there, and I'm like, this book isn't going to be in my house, it's not going to be in my collection, no, not in my house. Everything started with 2 words, ugly Russians. I guess you know, you can understand why I really don't like. Finish line. A book you were proud to finish. Okay, first of all, I was proud to finish Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell because it's so huge. Also, I remember when I was in high school, we had to read War and Peace for high school, so I was also very proud when I finished it. I was just like, oh, yes, I've done it. I've read War and Peace. Brothers Karamazov. Also, I didn't read it for school, but I read it while I was in high school. So yeah, I was also very proud to finish that book. Yes. You know, it really made me feel very proud of myself. Gold medal. Best book you've read during a readathon. Okay, so I will talk about Reading Rush readathon. I like readathons. I participated in a lot of readathons. For example, recently was readathon. For readathon, I think I would say for readathon I've only read 2 books in a week. You see, that's what I'm saying when I said that I don't read fast, because during the week of readathon I've only read 2 books, but both of them were very good. So, but my favorite was Human Acts. I think like for readathon this was like just the best book, and the book that touched me the most, and the book that I resonated with the most. And as for the Reading Rush, which is still going and I'm still reading, but so far out of all the books that I've read, I think Italo Calvino has to be my favorite. Italo Calvino has to be my choice, because I just thoroughly enjoyed this writing. Like, his writing was everything I could ask for. I couldn't ask for more. It was just so good, especially his second story in this collection. Really liked it. If you want to see me talk about this book, you can watch my previous vlog if you haven't. So that's where I discuss with you this, and also the vlog before that, because I read this book in 2 days. You see, that's what I'm saying. It's just only 80 pages and I read it in 2 days, so I read slowly. But yeah, so in my previous 2 vlogs I talk about Italo Calvino and Under the Jaguar Sun, about this collection, so if you're curious you can watch those 2 vlogs. The last question. Participating ribbon. An underrated book you wish got more attention. I actually have 4 books that I wish got more attention. The first one is Wish Tree. Wish Tree by Catherine Applegate. I read it last year and I really liked it. This is a middle grade novel. This book was so heartwarming and kind, and I just really loved it, especially at the end. In the end I even cried a little bit. Just a little bit I cried, because like the ending was just took me to my feels. I don't know, I really liked it. It was such a good and lovely story about friendship and support and help, relationship with nature, relationship with people from different cultures and religion, about accepting people from different religions and backgrounds. I don't know, I feel like it dealt with important topics and it dealt with them in a very like beautiful and kind way. So I really liked it. Yes, highly recommend it, especially if you have kids. Read it with your kids. I think it will be adorable. One more book that I wish received more attention is The Word for World is Forest by Ursula K. Le Guin. I read 2 books by her so far, this one and The Left Hand of Darkness, and I definitely preferred these to The Left Hand of Darkness, even though I also liked The Left Hand of Darkness. But this was just like by far my favorite. This is about a human colony on another planet, and it just shows like brutality of human, how having this belief that whomever is the strongest, whomever is the most prone to violence, is the one who can claim everything for himself or themselves. And it's just about the people who initially lived on that planet, who initially were a very peaceful species of human, who never knew any war, never knew any violence and killing, how they learn to stand up for themselves, how they learn the meaning of killing. I really enjoyed this book a lot. I feel like the message was very important, a topic on which like people should talk and should change the perspective, and a lot of people, the perspectives are already changing, I guess, I hope. So yeah, this book was actually really good and I would wish more people read it. One more actually children's book that I also don't see a lot of people talking about is The Dragon with the Chocolate Heart. It's one of my favorite children's books. I really liked it. I also read it last year and like I love it these days. It's just lighthearted, easy, enjoyable, fun read, which will just make you smile. It will just make you feel good. It's not anything like highbrow educational. It's just to brighten up your day. that's it. That's the purpose of this book, and it does a wonderful job at that. About this girl who discovers her love for chocolate and decides to become a chocolatier, but she's actually a dragon. Brilliant. I really like this book, so I would highly recommend it for you if you're ever just feeling down, feeling upset, if you just want something easy and fun and kind. That's it. And the last book that I wish received more attention is like my ultimate love of this year. I mean, okay, maybe not ultimate, but just book that I truly love, and I have already talked about it a lot, is The Miracles of the Nemia General Store. I just love it. That's like what I have to say about this book. I just simply love it. It's just like what I want. It's what I need in my books. Interesting characters, kindness, humanity, everything that I love. Everything that I love. It's in here. I talked about this book in my best books I have read so far in 2020 video, which I will link up here, so you can hear me talk about it there. I would highly recommend this book. It's just brilliant. I really love it. It's by a Japanese author, Keigo Higashino, and he is actually, normally he writes like a detective stories, and this is not a detective story. It has some element of mystery, it has some element of magical realism to it, but it's not really a detective story. But it's also very gripping, and you just cannot put it down. You just want to know what is happening, basically. So yeah, I really liked it. Okay, and there you have it, guys, my racing to read tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed these book recommendations, and I hope you will give some of them a read, some of them a go. And yeah, I hope you're having a good and enjoyable and productive reading rush, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.